be able to focus on the camera too much. So I just wanted to share some thoughts that I had with my chavrusa this morning, Rabbi Basser. We were discussing the mitzvah of Heichech Techech Hasamisecha, and the mitzvah to tell a person when they're doing something wrong. And I had two ideas in how the pasuk is explained. One, Heichech Techech Hasamisecha, we see him something doing wrong, even against Shamayim. Tell him off so that he shouldn't hurt himself in the next world. The other pshat that I knew of was it's going back. Don't hate your friend. What should you do rather? If he did something wrong to you, tell him about it. Talk to him about it. Engage him. And then this way you won't have the chait of so he mentioned the third pshat in Leisisa Olav Chait. And Leisisna Sachich Bilvavecha is one thing, and then Eichech Techech Samisecha Leisisa Olav Chait, and this is mentioned in the Rambam. And if you tell him off, you won't be included in the Aveira. That means you won't be responsible, because somebody that sees somebody doing something wrong and he doesn't, and he's not Meicha, he's responsible. So we were discussing, what is that responsibility? Is it just because he's culpable and he has to be Meicha to excuse himself and get himself out of it? Or is he only obligated to be Meicha if it'll be effective, if he's able to stop them? So he told me from the fact that it's Anshe Beisa, etc., Nitfas B'Avonim, it's somebody that he has a influence on. Such a person, if you don't stop them and you don't influence them, then you're nitfas by yourself. So that's a third pshat, that you won't be nitfas in the Aveira. 3 pshatim. So I showed him that the Rambam says that when you're meichiach somebody, you need to tell him, I'm doing this for your good. It's important to tell him that I'm doing this for your good. Therefore, it's obvious that you cannot embarrass him when you're doing it, because that would be counterproductive. He won't feel that you're doing it for his good. The whole idea is to effect the change, and therefore you need to be doing it for his good, and he needs to know it. So it brought up an interesting question. How does that go in regards vis-a-vis there is a din to be mafreshim from Isser? So I did a little bit of research on that, and it seems there's a rush by Ye'eved Nirtza, by Yovel, if he doesn't want to leave. So I think the Gemara is in Baba Kama Chavtes that you should, beat him up to get him to leave. Comes from a rush, and it's Gepaskend and Shulchan Aruch. Now, going to be a free for all. Anybody that sees somebody else, they're going to be beating him up to be mafish base. Right? Doesn't sound like it's the right thing to do. That you should stop a person. There is also the halacha of Shuklayim. So the Rambam is the one that discusses somebody seeing somebody else. And the Mefarshim say he learns that from the story of Rav Barava, that he was pulled off a unsneezed dress from a woman. That means he was stopping an Aveira from being done, and he was being mafresh. But more research, when do we say that? So the Amsham says somebody that's a tzaddik, people are that's not Shamayim. It's and L'Shem Shamayim means that you really, that's what it is, and not that it's your career of being a L'Shem Shamayim that you've done for a career, and it suits you for your purposes, but however you may not be fully clear in that respect. For instance, we know that when you say Lashon Hara L'Tayeles, Chafetz Chaim brings down that a person has to himself be clean from that sin, and he brings the story of Yehu, that Yehu was commanded by Hashem to kill out. Beis Achav, and he did it, but since he at the end of his time did Avodah Zarah, he was punished for murdering Achav, even though he had no chance not to do it. Hashem told him straight up to do it. But when you do something, you own that action. There could be multiple reasons, and even if at the time the reason was correct, if later on you do that Aveira, so you're not clean from that, so you're responsible for those actions. This is a big chiddush, a big discussion, but I'm just saying, like in Lafusha Misura, if you were to hit somebody, not at all simple that it would be permitted. Let's say, I'm just thinking now, if somebody would do that, Lafusha Misura, a guy's eating chazer, and he, I don't know, slaps him. So if he's not nucky in that area, he would be responsible. However, let's say this din of Leisamid Adam Re'acha, you see somebody stealing from somebody else. So you stop the guy from stealing him. You could be the biggest crook, I believe. I still think that there's a responsibility and a schus mammon to stop that guy. But I don't know. Gotta think about it. Okay, that's enough for today.